6WHBQ.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
If you like pina coladas.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. You know who I am, the happiest man on planet Earth, and I give you the happiest 2 hours you will have all day. Well, happiest 2 hours. You might have 2 minutes that are happier, but no more than that, right? Can anybody ever? No. You know, it's only going to be maybe. But no, these are the best 2 hours in the day, baby. And I got you. And you know who's along with you for this whole ride? I got my man Gabe Kuhn. We're going to have a lot of fun. And you know where Gabe is? At G_Kuhn71 on Twitter. I'm at Johnny_Radio. And then, of course, now, not only do you listen to us on the beautiful 56 from Old School Days AM, we got 2 FM channels, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM, and they are rocking and rolling. And that stereo sounds absolutely beautiful. Check it out. Don't forget, you can always text the show at 67129. That's the First Bank text line. You can call it at 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. And you're going to want to call on the first hour. Second hour is jam-packed. I got John Luke McCord. He's going to come on, and JL Grindin from Twitter. And we are going to talk a whole lot, and I mean a whole lot, about college football, what he thinks about the Southeastern Conference, Alabama, LSU, Joe Burrow. I wish I could add an S. I just miss it. It sounds so much better with the Burrows. Because don't you know?
I don't think it does.
No,
I don't think it does. I think that's just super Southern of you to add that.
Super Southern. It is very super Southern, probably. But you know what? I dig where I'm from. I like the South. We dig it. Iced tea, baby. Sweet tea. Y'all like? Have you ever gone out west or whatever and gotten tea?
Unsweet tea? I don't know what that is. Like,
what
why?
are you doing?
What's the
Unsweet
point?
tea?
What's the point of it?
I don't get it either. It's also like that dude who's like, no, I like my coffee like my soul, black and dark and bitter. I'm like, dude, I want mine sweet and with all kinds of that like fruity cream they give. Anyway, sidebar. We are going to have so much fun today because we get to talk about somebody who's woke as a joke. We talk about capitalism over compassion. We get to talk about NFL and how it must, like, ignorance is bliss. And now that we have these HD TVs, I think it was a lot better when they had those like bulb TVs and they showed games in different ways and less camera angles and they didn't have replay. Because now, like, we had finally a good game going on Monday night. Like, literally, I'm not kidding you, 3/4 of good football. And then the refs decided, hey, this is too damn good. People are having fun. They've all left the baseball game because it's over. Now we got all eyeballs on us. Let's make sure everybody knows all of our names. I mean, flags going everywhere. What in the bleep? Poor my boy Trey Flowers. I would be absolutely irate. Dude hadn't had 2 penalties called on him all season long or in his career for that, and he has 2 in 1 quarter. The end of the game on a sack on 3rd down that puts him out of field goal range, make it an 8-point game. Impossible, basically, for them to win because they're going to have to punt. You know, golly, Rams go eat up a little bit of clock.
I was saying to myself, I texted you early in the game. I said, this might be the best Monday Night Football game we have seen all year.
And I'm happy. And by the way, just so you know, doing good things for people actually does pay off. Quick sidebar. I actually went and met Gabe for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Told him I could not hang out with him and watch the game because I had to go down to Tunica and play the Cardinals and the Lions. Well, after I saw Gabe for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, said what's up to him and his girlfriend, I think Slider in. We were over there. What's up? And then I was like, man, let me pull in and get some gas. I pull in and get some gas over there at Crump. You know, you're kind of in I don't even know what part of the city you would call that. It's like downtown. I don't know. You're in Memphis. Little kid is like 16 years old. He's crying on this corner. And I was like, yo, kid. It's like, man, you need to man up, Holmes. And he looked over at me and I was like, he's like crying. And I was like, dude, come here, man. It's like, why are you crying, Holmes? He's like, and this is so sad. So whoever this SOB is, if I ever find out who you are, I'm going to, man, it's not going to be ugly. You better hope the cops find out who you are first. But this kid got picked up in West Memphis, Arkansas, said, if you come and work for me all day, and basically paints and does carpentry work for this guy, and like is his assistant all day long, and then he pulls into a gas station, gives him a $5 bill, says, go get 2 waters. I'm going to drive you home and pay you. And you know what the dude does when he goes into the store? Drives off. I understood why the kid was crying. So whoever you are, person, you absolutely, man, karma's going to come for you. But I took that kid home, and this is where karma worked for me, because I was going to bet on the Cardinals. There's no way. When this kid, he lived out by like Marion High School. I didn't even know where that was. I was lost as a mug. I didn't get back to, I barely got back in there to get that Lions game in, let alone get a baseball game in. So, Cardinals got smoked. I saved some money and did somebody good. So therefore, it is true. Sometimes I used to say, what, no good deed goes unpunished. Sometimes a good deed actually does save you a little cash. Saved me some yesterday. That was pretty awesome. Now, getting back to what's going on and what last night in baseball, I really don't want to talk much about the Cardinals. They stink. We got baseball going on at 3 o'clock. You got Garrett Cole against the Yankees, the Astros, and the Yankees. This is the real deal series. To get to the World Series, we can basically go ahead and say, Cardinal fan, come together.
It's over.
It's over.
Just accept it.
Just
get over it. 3-0. It's not going to happen.
Now, is it going to be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep?
See, at this point, judging by last night's game, you're talking about an 8-1 finish.
Mm-hmm.
That would absolutely deflate me.
Dude,
sorry.
It would.
I think.
But Strauss was awesome.
But
I
don't
know. Changeup,
by
the way, you couldn't hit that changeup last night.
It's just so hard to hit. His curve comes down and in, and then the other one fades away.
That changeup fades away, and you can't hit. It looks like his fastball, his hand action's the same. But you got Dakota Hudson, you got Patrick Corbin going tonight. 7:05 is the first pitch. And I will say one thing: left-handed pitching, Patrick Corbin in this postseason has been very good. But Steven Strasburg's been bad to the bone, period. But I will say Dakota, I'm sure, is going to go out there. He's going to be fired up. But are the bats going to do jack? It doesn't look like it. They scored 0 runs in the first game. They scored a whole whopping run in the second game. And they scored another run in the third game.
2 in 3 games.
They've scored 2 runs in 3 games while giving up 13. That is not winning baseball. That's why they are right here about to get swept by the Nationals, and it'll be the first time the Nationals have ever made it to the as the Washington Nationals to the World Series. Now, like Washington went like whatever, I don't even know. People were telling me something. I was like, man, dude, I don't know, man. Way before me. Anyway, that will be pretty cool, and it'll be also very weird. They get rid of Bryce Harper, and then they go to the World Series. You know, Bryce is sitting there somewhere with his hair all coiffed, probably having some girl put product in it right now. Tweeting with Antonio Brown, complaining about how they're getting screwed.
Honestly, I think he's all right.
He's okay.
I think he'll live.
He's only got $330 million of hot wife.
I think he'll be all right.
And by the way, he's got nice hair, so he's doing all right. Now,
but
he does funny
if you're the Lions, if you're the rest of these NFL teams, I would feel like I'm getting screwed.
Well,
I'm sick of it, man.
Well, this is where we are about to go.
Completely done.
Yeah, baseball. We have 3 o'clock baseball today. Just so you know, Garrett Cole is pitching against the Yankees. In all honesty, as we talk about good games, the best game is going right when the show ends, and I hate that because that's also when Wolo and Stats start. So what you're going to do is you watch the game and you listen to them. That way you get the best of both worlds. Because at 3:08, you got Garrett Cole and Luis Severino, and that's the best pitchers match up. Pitch up. Did I just make up a word? I was trying to make up a thing getting Muschamped yesterday. Maybe I want to talk about something getting pitched up. I don't know. Smack my anyway. Severino and Garrett Cole. That is, I think, one of the most amazing pitchers matchup. And then you add the Astros and the Yankees lineups that go against these great pitchers. If you are a baseball fan, you should be tuned in at 3:08 because you're going to see great pitching against great hitting, great defense, two historic franchises. I mean, this is everything you want in October. And it's at 3:08.
The difference between the matchups in the NL and the AL this year is disappointing. I mean, like NL is just already over. In the ALCS, obviously you want to lean toward the Astros. You think they have better pitching, but the Yankees can rake no matter what. I mean, the situation is actually pretty cool in the ALCS.
Yeah, it really, really is. It's it's not just cool, it's crazy. But I'm fired up because, like I said, once my show is off, I got a meeting because I got to do work. And then after that, I'll be watching baseball like Tyrone Biggums and Charlie Sheen hit rocks. Okay? I'm going to be all up in that stuff. I always think to myself, the only reason Charlie Sheen is trying to hit rock bottom is because he thinks there's a crack rock at the bottom. He's just continuing to go because he's waiting to get to that big one. But anyway, back to what I was going to do is baseball fired up. Can't wait to see what happens. We got a World Series. I know that the National is going to go and represent the National League, the American League. I have a pick on the Astros. But holy guacamole, Yankees are at home. The series is tied 1 game apiece, and it's Sevy versus GC. OMG, what can I say? This is going to be bad to the bone, straight up. Now, I got to tell you something that was not bad to the bone. 1, Cardinals pitching, Cardinals hitting, Cardinals fielding, and the Cardinals. That was horrible. But it did give me an opportunity to watch a lot of football last night, and that was dope. Man, Lions jumped out, kicked some teeth. Packers fight back. We got 3 great quarters of football, man. This is the real deal. Holyfield, the total for people who have that thing, like if you had the under, you won by 1. If you had the over, you lost by 1, you know? So, it was a great game. If you laid 3.5 points in the Packers, yeah, the Packers won, but you're still ticked off. If you had the Lions lost, but you're still happy, or you're like me. I'm kind of actually ticked because what was a very enjoyable evening went to like complete anger. Like I lost my deadgum mind for no reason because, and I've been thinking about this all day. I've started since day one. What have I said since the first week of football?
This is poorly officiated and the worst NFL football we've seen.
And then week 2, I came out and said, man, I'm starting to feel like my week 1 comment is the real. This officiating sucks, and the football we're watching is BS. And then week 3, and then we go to week 4, and now guess what? 6 weeks in, and we have not had a good Monday night football game, a good Thursday night football game, a good Sunday night football game. We've had a horrible record. I'm going to pull out the big board today at 1:30. John Luke McCord's coming on at 2:05, and I'm going to give you Hardwood. I'm going to tell you one thing. John Luke McCord, we're talking college football, thank goodness, because we don't have to make fun of the NFL. Hardwood, I'll be making fun of the NFL. And my man who's woke as a joke, who puts capitalism over compassion. And then we're going to have a whole lot of fun with stuff. But let's just be real right now. This is something that is being talked about. And I guess I need to give Dave Gettleman probably a big old I'm sorry. Dave, you're a bad man. You did a good job. But then this is also the other question I want to ask you. Did Dave Gettleman do a great job? Or are we just comparing the fact that all you people think he's going to the Hall of Fame? Yes, he won 2 Super Bowls to beat Peyton Manning. But we never talk about their defense that, never gave up. They won 17 and 21 in those Super Bowls, if I remember. Man, I need to look them up. I know they didn't score a whole lot. Those defense did their jobs, but we never ever give them credit. But again, comparing, when you talk about Daniel Jones and NFL, like next week, do you know how lucky we are? Do you know what week 7 gives us? Do you know?
I don't.
You're going to be freaked out. Do you know who Kyler Murray plays next week? the New York Football Giants. So you get the number 1 pick, Kyler Murray, against Daniel Jones. This is basically what I'm trying to tell you. This is what the NFL is. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, that was awesome. D-Dub was great. Aaron Rodgers today, I woke up to hearing, oh, he's a bad man. But again, I want to ask you, is Aaron Rodgers a bad man? Yeah, if you give him extra possessions because it was so poorly officiated, he's going to end up winning a game and stealing it from Matthew Stafford. But, man, you got Gardner Minshew playing quarterback. You got Kyle Allen, Lamar Jackson. You got, Jimmy the porn star. He's one of the best in the league. Kyle Murray's beating Matt Ryan. You got Joe Flacco playing better than Marcus Mariota. Dak Prescott wanted to reset the market and get $40 million, getting beat by Sam Darnold. We got a dude named Duck Hodges playing quarterback for the Steelers, doing duck calls at halftime. Quack, quack, quack. The duck, duck, the duck, duck. Hey, my name is Duck Hodges. I played at Sanford. The Chargers have a 400-year-old quarterback who was hanging out with Moses back in the day. That's why he's got 76 kids.
I was say, you didn't even have to talk about the old part. I mean, he's got like 25 kids.
Phillip Rivers literally is so old and has like 70 kids. He has more
it
kids than I
keeps
can
coming.
shake a stick.
He's not
Dude,
stopping.
are you kidding me? That dude, like I said, he's going to listen to me 2 hours a day, play football on the weekend, and have 2 minutes of fun. He's going to have more kids. It's just crazy. Dude's on fire. But I have to listen to this. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest. Do you know that they scored 2 touchdowns? Aaron Rodgers is the greatest football player. He made some throws last night that were awesome. But he also was given the game. The Lions, truthfully, they are up 8 with 7 minutes. And you have a sack, which would take the team out of field goal range and force the Packers to punt. If you give them the ball, what is it, the FPI? Is that the Football Power Index?
Uh-huh.
It would have given them something like a 3% chance of pulling that game out.
The 2 calls for illegal hands to the face that were phantom, that were not illegal hands to the face.
Correct.
Trey Flowers had his
Poor
hand right directly in his shoulder pad.
Dude was holding him, by the way. Did they call the hold on him? Did you see that part too? Oh my God, he had his jersey, the offensive lineman too.
Those 2 late in the game
We're going at it now.
completely changed the game. I mean, put them into field goal range. They got to run out the clock. It was easy at that point. Literally, the referees gave the game to the Packers, and there's no other way to put it.
And that's where I have to say, for all the people out there saying that the 5-1 Packers, Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man. It could be very easily a 3-1-1 Lions team and a 4-2 Packers team. Very easily, and it should be that way. The Packers won by 1 point, y'all. Did Aaron Rodgers come up clutch? Heck yes, he does. But do you know what? If you give Aaron Rodgers extra possessions, do you know what Aaron Rodgers is probably going to do? He's going to probably come up clutch because he's a damn good football player. But you can't just keep giving the guy extra possessions. Think about that damn Dallas game. 6 penalties in a row. Think about, golly, what was it the other week? Man, there was another one this week that was so bad. That was just like, it was so egregious. I was like, dang, this is getting sad. But basically what I'm saying, it's happening so much, you realistically cannot even remember. And the reason I'm saying this is so important is because we talk about quarterback play and how much importance it is. And we talk about running backs and defensive players. Well, look, Vontaze Burfict has been kicked out of the league. You got a lot of great defensive players in this league. But you had Jared Goff last year in the Super Bowl. Did you not?
You did.
Did he look like a complete,
was
absolute
confused.
junk against
He was
the
confused.
porn star?
And now
Jimmy
you look at the
Garoppolo?
Rams now. What are they doing? What are they?
Dude, Sean McVay got married to his Instagram model. He's rich. I think Sean's happy. I think Sean's good. Jared Goff is rich. Hey, we were all singing the praises after
But
Fisher
eventually,
was gone.
and I'm not, look,
That Rams
player to
defense
player,
stinks.
player to player, I'm not worried about right now, and team to team. What I'm worried about is the officiating in this league.
I agree
This
with
is absolutely flushing this league down the toilet. and making it look like a joke. Alberto Riveron is the vice president of officiating in the NFL.
Okay.
If he can't make some decisions that will help this league move forward, people are going to stop watching. It's just the facts. That's how I feel. That's how you feel. That's how a lot of the people I talk to about
There's
this
no rhythm.
feel.
There's
no
no rhythm. And we had rhythm for 3 quarters, it felt like, for me at least. Maybe I was flipping back and forth to the baseball game when there was maybe hope. Which
there was actually
Howie
hope
Kendrick's
through
so
3
damn
quarters of that
good.
game. There was hope.
But yeah, 3 quarters it was good. But this is what I wanted to try to explain to you. This is where people are going to get messed up really, really, really bad. Okay? Are you ready to hear this? Our league, and this is the NFL because this is America's league. This is the one that America tunes in the most. They have their own day. Sunday is dedicated to the National Football League, sadly, but true. And Christian McCaffrey is probably one of the baddest dudes on planet Earth. He should be leading, I think, in the MVP race, and it shouldn't even be really that close. But I always go to this one simple position, and I can't help myself. I am a quarterback dude, and the league is always run by quarterbacks. And if you also wanted to talk about running backs, do y'all know who's leading outside of Christian McCaffrey? Do you know who the leading rushers are? Nick Chubb, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Chris Carson of Seattle. Pretty interesting, huh? Doesn't and it's just like the running back position is great, but it doesn't really do it. Do you want to hear something else for real? Or do you know the offensive pass leaders are in the NFL? Patrick Mahomes, Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, and Jameis Winston. How crazy is that? Very crazy. And this is kind of what I'm getting at, is we have horrible officiating. We have horrible BS calls. Now they will not call this penalty after that Saints game. What happened that cost the Saints literally an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Now the officials will not overturn a subjective call, period, even if it's blatant, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely insane. But you also look at the league that we're talking about is it's kind of hard to jump on board with all these guys because it's like, can I ask you something? If you're a Philadelphia fan, are you believing in Carson Wentz right now? If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, are you just totally sold on Dak Prescott? Look at the money that Wentz has got. Look at the money that, Prescott, he's only gotten $2 million this year. It almost seems criminal, but he's going to get paid. And then you look at like Russell Wilson. You look how bad Jared Goff's been. Like Tom Brady is the one thing that's been consummate every single deadgum year. Phillip Rivers, of course, he's consummate in the regular season, horrible in the postseason, and he's always having babies. But he also plays for the Chargers. Andy Dalton stinks, still has a job with Cincinnati. Gardner Minshew can wear jorts and has a motorcycle, handlebars.
Can we call that like a Fu Manchu?
Fu Manchu?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
one
it's like
that
the
bends over. It looks like
handlebars.
it bends over and gets, but either way.
I kind of like, it makes me think of my homie, not Fonda, but the other dude in Easy Rider. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's just all kinds of things about the NFL that I'm trying to ask y'all, and I want to know the truth. And I want you to call me at 901-360-8255. We're going to pull out the big board, and we're going to rank the top 4 teams, and I'm going to tell you the worst teams. But I want to know what y'all think. Are we seeing, because I'm going to tell you right now, the best athletes in the world, they're out there today. Like, we got guys that are bigger, stronger, faster, doing things we've never seen, throwing the ball farther, running faster, but it's not the best product. We've got the most penalties since 1972, period. Think about that. Most penalties called since 1972. That's not good. And HD television. People can see all this stuff. You're showing it. And it makes you look really, really, really dumb. And especially when everybody and their grandmother's watching and they can see it and somehow y'all still get it wrong. And then you also have the experts on the TV telling you they got it wrong. That also hurts. Kind of like the stupidity I used to say at the NBA doing that final 2 minute. Oh, here, let me tell you how much we screwed up at the end of the game, everybody, so you can really be pissed off at us.
You have to hold Alberto Riveron accountable for what he has done to refereeing in the National Football League.
I totally agree.
And at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen, or this league is going to continue to lose out on its viewership, on revenue, and everything else.
It's so true. Now, we also had to talk about since next week, I want to ask all you people at 67129 and Gabe, I'm going to do the rankings, and then I'm going to ask, do you want to take, if you got a chance to do the draft over, number one, are you taking Daniel Jones or are you taking Kyler Murray? They're playing next week. How interesting is that? And they're both going for 3 wins.
Yeah, I like how you gave Dave Gettleman a little bit of love.
Gotta give him a love.
Because look, we were there talking about Dwayne Haskins, and we saw how he is right now. I don't think he's had much of help.
Jay Gruden smoking weed, hitting on chicks, not doing a very good job.
He's not getting much of an opportunity.
Daniel Snyder's not a real good owner.
Yeah, he got drafted into a bad spot. But regardless of the situation, Daniel Jones looks good.
He does. Also want to remind y'all, dorks are just dorks. I'll explain to you why. If you listen to Kirk Cousins, like no matter what, he's always going to be a dork. He is just a dork. I got to tell you about what happened to Zach Brown, and I'm not talking about the band. I'm going to tell you why the XFL is going to succeed. I'm going to tell you also where 12 gauge is going. I'm going to tell you about the XFL, NFL, LeBron, the jokes that are woke, the wokes that are not joked, and then the people that pick capitalism over compassion, all kinds of fun stuff. Don't forget JL Grinding at 205. We're bringing out the big board and, yes, Hardwood, all still to come. So don't touch that dial on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Sports Time with Willow and Stats. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
This is Jason Mott. Join me November 9th downtown at the Column for our 8th annual Jason Mott Foundation Cornhole Challenge. Doors open at 6. For tickets and more information, click the events tab at jasonmottfoundation.org. Looking forward to seeing you out there, and let's strike out cancer.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if
we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. Don't fret, though, because guess what? You can always do what? Oh, who's always got your back? Can I ask you something, Gabe? Do I always have your back?
Always.
Man, I always got y'all's backs, too, because I'm going to tell you right now, every single sponsor that I have, I don't just, use or vet or care or, I have turned down many of people, and I have told every single one of the people that I deal with that I actually care about them. And my man, Chad Gatlin, is a baller shot caller. Insurance is a real deal Holyfield thing. Everybody has to have your car insurance. Everybody who lives either needs to have home insurance or renter's insurance. And I'm going to tell you a little story. If you live with your girlfriend, like maybe Gabe does, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out, maybe. But if you live with them and you don't pay that little $15 a month for renter's insurance, let's say her house gets robbed and you have like $10,000 worth of stuff stolen. Because you didn't have renter's insurance, did you know that her possessions are covered, but your possessions are not? See, about 15 years ago, I learned that the hard way. And, buddy, that was a hard way to learn. Like, what do you mean none of my stuff was insured? All of her stuff is cool, but everything that was mine is gone? Yup. And that's how I learned about renter's insurance. Don't learn the hard way. Just go to memphisfarmers.com or call my buddy Chad Gatlin, and you'll see Daniel Gatlin when you go to Memphis Farmers. But I'm telling you, his friends call him Chad. Be cool like that. He'll know you heard it on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, and he'll probably actually dig that. But I'm serious, the heart attack. Farmers Insurance is the real deal Holyfield. Call him at 901-235-1176, and remember, they're at 7895 Stage, Suite 110 out in Bartlett, Tennessee, and this is very important. They are Farmers Insurance. But he is Memphis born. He's Memphis bred. He's a Memphis man till he's dead. And this is his area. So when you want the power of farmers behind you, but you want somebody that understands this area and you and what you need, can't think of a better place. MemphisFarmers.com. Hey, do me a favor, Gabe. Pull out that big board.
It's the big, bad, colossal, huge, gigantic, explosive big board.
I love that big old board, baby, and I love exploding all over the place. And man, me and you did this last week. I kept all of our stuff. Things have switched up, but I got to be honest with you. I just had it, and I don't know what the hell I just did with it. You know, I always move stuff. Why do I do that?
Yeah, you do. You misplace things a lot.
I'm really good at that.
It's just you, man.
It's like I'm so proud I kept up with it, Gabe. Let me show you what I did. And then it's like the segment starts, and I'm like still looking for it. But anyway, I forgot what we gave last week, but we got this week's all lined up and ready to rock for you. And I think it's kind of simple. And I will say this right now.
Starting at 4, right?
We're starting at 4, and I'm going to tell everybody
31,
this.
32.
And this is actually a kind of it's not a threat because Gabe would just crush me, but it sounds like a threat. You put the Patriots in top 4, and I'm smacking somebody. They just got handed that damn game. That was a rob job by the the officials to the Lions. And if you look at that division, by the way, do you know how many divisions?
You said Patriots, you meant Packers.
Did I say Patriots?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what?
What
Patriots deserve to be in it. But then when you look at the Seahawks.
I'm sorry.
That's another team that could be in the top 4.
They're in there.
They got handed it. They got handed completely. The Rams game.
That's a dang good point. But dang, Russell Wilson.
So I do agree. I think they're the 4th best team in the league right now. Russell Wilson looks incredible.
That's who you got?
Yeah.
That's who I got.
Defensively, they look pretty good. I think more than anything, I think DK Metcalf has stepped up. I think, obviously, you talked about Chris Carson being in the top 10
running
rushing.
like a madman.
So I look at this team, and I think it's more equipped than the Packers to win a Super Bowl.
Well, this is and by the way, I agree with you. And everybody who's out there saying how Aaron Rodgers is this bad man, the Packers have scored 142 points this year. The Seahawks have scored 165.
And just so we're clear, I had the Packers at 4 last week, but what they did with the Lions this week definitely made me think twice.
But
I don't think they deserve to win that game.
This is where I also feel like the two toughest divisions in football could be both in the NFC, and it could be the NFC North and the NFC West. The NFC North, the Packers are 5-1. The Vikings are 4-2, even though I can't stand
Who's
Captain
in last
Kirk.
place? That'll throw you off.
The Lions at 2-1.
Well, the Bears are 3-2.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. That whole
I don't know.
division.
It's crazy. It's
It
wild.
is crazy. And by the way, let's just be real. That Bears defense has only given up 69 points this year. You heard me correct. 69 points. And we say that that's the best number in the world and bad to the bone. Well, guess what? Do you know that San Francisco's only given up 64?
We'll get to them, I'm sure. I'm
Holy
sure we'll get to them here.
bejeebies. So
Who you
that's
got at
crazy.
3? Who you got at 3 this
Well,
week?
this is where I'm going to drive you and everybody and their grandmother absolutely crazy because I'm sticking in the same division. And you're going to be like, how can you have a team that's undefeated at number 3? San Francisco was at number 2 last week for me. They fell a spot.
How?
How?
I want to know.
The porn star that I'm in love with, Jimmy G, made me a little bit nervous. Their defense, I think, is unequivocally legit. Their run game, they got so many running backs that they run in and out, and that offensive line is probably second best behind the Colts. Man, no, they're about the 4th best, in all honesty. They're pretty good, but they're in the top 5. Colts is the best. But anyway, point. I can't believe I'm saying this. The winner that is Jimmy G hasn't had to do it. Do you know what I mean?
He doesn't need to.
He hadn't had to.
They
George
run the
Kittle
crap
is
out of the
so
ball.
good. He's always open when he throws it to George.
They run the crap out of the ball. He doesn't make mistakes.
Never make. I mean, he's been
they have been playing from ahead the entire season. They haven't had to overcome a lead or overcome a deficit. So I like that team.
Do you
honestly, you want to know who I have here?
Can
though?
I tell you? If I tell you this, you're going to literally freak out because I'm pretty sure you don't know this. Do you know why I moved them down? Because he has 7 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
And that worries me.
Yeah.
And the other thing is,
I think he'll be all right.
he is ranked out of the starting quarterbacks. Do you know that Marcus Mariota, Kirk Cousins, Joe Flacco, Gardner Minshew, Matthew Stafford, Carson
He
Wentz,
has not had
Baker
to do as
Mayfield,
much.
Lamar Jackson,
That defense is sick.
Andy Dalton, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, and Jameis Winston, Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan, and Patrick Mahomes are all ranked ahead of him. So guess what? My porn star friend, I'm now actually saying, because I've always been talking about these Patriots quarterbacks, right? How great they're doing. Brissett, look at Jacoby. Look at my man Jimmy the porn star. Look at Tom. He's like older than Grandpa, and he's still doing it. But you know what? Jimmy could be. Bill Belichick might have been got lucky that Tom went to the owner and said, Kraft, get rid of this Jimmy G guy. Because Jimmy G looks like the winner, but he don't look like Tom Brady to me, baby.
Well, I like Jimmy G. But anyways, my 3rd spot, I have the Saints. And the only reason I think what they have done so far this season, they've beaten the Texans, they've beaten the Seahawks, they've beaten the Cowboys, and they've beaten the Jaguars. They have done a lot to this point in the season. And without who?
And
without Drew Brees.
Okay, well, hold on. See, this is where you are going to want to punch me in the nose. This is why I have New Orleans and 3 NFC teams in my top 4 because I moved them to number 2 because Teddy Bridgewater and they went down there to Jacksonville when everybody and their grandmother said Jacksonville was going to beat them. And that defense manned up and didn't even give up a damn touchdown. They stopped Leonard Fournette. They stopped the Gardner Minshew man that he is. And Teddy Ballgame is now the coveringest quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Coveringest.
He covers against the spread.
He's a cover machine.
70.
Man.
Think about this.
But
that game, did you know it got him to? He's at 75%.
This is a team that when Drew Brees went out, I had to have a conversation with people wondering if they were going to be able to squeak out 2 wins in the stretch that he was out. They're 5-1 right now,
and
their
they're
defense
get
looks
Drew back.
Their defense, without saying, looks great. But when they get Drew Brees back,
Kamara, Michael Thomas,
it's going to be very hard to convince me that this team's not one of the elite.
Dude, they're
in
bad.
the NFL.
Let's just.
But I think we flip flop because I have the 49ers at 2.
So you have the 49ers.
I have the 49ers at 2.
And
because they're undefeated, they haven't lost. They haven't lost. I don't think they. Personally, I don't know if they've been tested fully. I think they have a good O-line. I think their defense is incredible. I think Jimmy G hasn't had to do much, and I kind of agree with you to this point in the season. But I feel like this team is put together really well.
It was very hard for me to do my flip. It was hard because they didn't lose. I mean, it's kind of hard, but it was the New Orleans win against Jacksonville, and it was this simple fact. They are getting one of the greatest quarterback minds that has ever played the position. He might not have the strongest arm, the biggest stature, man, but man, when it comes to football knowledge and knowing Sean Payton's offense, Drew Brees is a bad man. And that's just why I had to move them, because they're doing everything right. And then now
big shocker at number one.
Patriots are number one.
Oh my gosh, such a shocker.
Shock.
Now, I don't think Tom Brady has been that good, but have you seen that defense? That defense is,
yeah, they're awesome.
I mean, simply said, untouchable. Like they're
undefeated.
You know, the most points they've given up this year is 14 points.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who is that to?
Obviously, and here's the other thing about them. They haven't really played to this point. Besides Steelers in that first game, they haven't played a team with a pulse.
The one thing I was going to remind
Dolphins,
you, 48
Jets,
is all they've given
Bills,
up this year.
Redskins, Giants are their 5 wins past the Steelers. So they haven't really done it, but they have won in decisive fashion every single time. And it's hard to keep a team,
to 48.
It's hard to keep a team that is so consistently in this millennia been a powerhouse and been a Super Bowl winner. It's hard to keep them out of the top spot in the NFL.
It's kind of simple. You want me to do this for you real quick? Watch this. Who's number one in passing? I'm sorry. Who's number one in points and passing efficiency?
I'm going to assume Tom Brady. Is that what you're trying to go for? The Patriots.
Yeah,
okay.
They've scored 190 points, and they are the most efficient team on 3rd and 4th down. Now, best defense in the league. Who's number one? Who's the number one scoring defense in the league?
Scoring defense in the league.
Only giving up 48 points this year? The Patriots.
Patriots.
Mm-hmm. So if you have the number one scoring offense, number one scoring defense, and only giving up 48, and you've scored 190, and you have a guy who has 6 Super Bowl rings and Bill Belichick, it's like you can't do anything but throw him at number one.
Now we want to take a break and then come back to the futility.
Let's take a small little timeout. How long's our break this time today? Is it little? Cool. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Again, thank you to Memphis Farmers. Number one for me is everybody's number one is the Patriots. Sorry. I'm just moving to number 2 real quick. The number 2 for me this week has New Orleans has moved up and taken over San Francisco at that 2 spot for me. 1, because I believe that Drew Brees is better than the porn star Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the defenses are very, very similar. Now, I don't think that San Francisco's up there with the Chicago Bears style defense, but I think that New Orleans defense is good enough. And when you add that dead-gum Drew Brees offense and Sean Payton mind, I just know they can do it. They're playing great in the secondary. They can get after the quarterback, and they stop the run. I like them. So I put them in number 2. And then you just can't stop the porn star. You have to have him in the top 3. He's a porn star, man. He's Jimmy G.
We were flip-flopped at 2 and 3.
And that was the only flip-flop. But what was weird is because didn't you have them at 3 last week?
I had them at 4.
You had them at 4.
Yes.
So they jumped up all the way to number 2.
Yes.
And I moved them down 1 spot. But you know what, again? It was just the simple fact that I thought Jacksonville was going to smoke. I mean, New Orleans has won 3 straight with Teddy Bridgewater. They were going to Jacksonville. This is a game that Jacksonville had to have. They have that great defense in their home. You know what I mean? I found that to be you look at Jacksonville, who is now 2 and 4. That would have made them 3 and 3. That's why I said it was a must win for them in that division. Houston keeps winning. They're at 4 and 2. If you keep falling farther behind, D-Dub's going to bury you. You know what I'm saying? And then plus the Indianapolis Colts with the best offensive line in football, they're 3 and 2. So the Jaguars, I thought for sure we're going to go win that. And the fact that the Saints could win that game without their best player in Drew Brees, because I still think he's their best player. I don't know, man. It made me think that maybe a Patriots-Saints Super Bowl would be actually really entertaining if the officials don't screw it up. But we'll talk more football on the other side. Whatever you do, the only thing you can do is go to MemphisFarmers.com, but don't touch that dial. This is Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
First Bank is here to help you. Whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits, let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
If you're someone that enjoys a truly great steak, then there's only one choice for you downtown: 117 Prime. 117 Prime has lots of different things on the menu, but the main attraction is the steaks. Prepared by chefs that love a great steak, you can choose from the 5 or 10 ounce fillets, the 16-ounce prime, the 8-ounce top sirloin cap culotte, or the 14-ounce New York strip, or the king of them all, the 24-ounce dry-aged porterhouse. You heard that right, 24 ounces of the best steak you've ever tasted. If you're craving steak, then head downtown to the steak experts. Head to Prime.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for Football Grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like 2 engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis, and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Get over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Yeah, y'all. Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. And, man, I can't believe during this happy hour, y'all are having so much fun. Texts seem like y'all are having a good time. I will have to say, I don't think I've ticked off too many people too much. Are you ready for me to tick them off? Oh, here it comes. Is Daniel Jones look so good because we're comparing him to Eli Manning? Or is this kid actually going to be better than Eli Manning? Is that even more disrespectful? I know somebody's going to slap me before this day's over. There's an Ole Miss fan around here who's not going to be too happy if they're listening to this. No, I'm just messing around with you. But this weekend, I did want to say is we're going to talk about some of the bottom teams in the NFL. Miami Dolphins, it's unequivocally, they proved they are the worst. They threw basically a game against the Redskins this week. They stink. Let's just be real. Now we're going to talk about the bad teams in the NFL. But before I get to that, I want to remind you that you always go and get your insurance at MemphisFarmers.com for my good friend Chad Gatlin. He's the real deal Holyfield. It'll say Daniel Gatlin when you get to the website, but MemphisFarmers.com is the real deal auto, home, life, business, whatever you need, he's got you. 901-235-1176. Memphis Farmers. Now, as we talk about this year's NFL, and I talk about how The NFC West with San Francisco's 5-0, and you got the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. They were 5-1. The Rams, who were in the Super Bowl last year, they're 3-3 at 500. They're not looking good. And then you have Kyler Murray, the number 1 pick in the draft, who's 2-3-1. They got a couple of W's. They're playing this New York Football Giants team that couldn't win a game with Eli Manning. All of a sudden, you get Daniel Jones. They're now 2-4. Both teams are going for their 3rd win of the season. Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. Before I get to the worst team in the league, I want to know from y'all and Gabe Kuhn, if you had the number 1 pick, are you taking Kyler Murray or Daniel Jones? Then you have to take a quarterback.
It's like literally the opposite in thought process offensively, though.
I know they're totally different.
Yeah, so it depends what system I'm running. I'm more of a spread guy. I'm going Kyler Murray.
Interesting. Now I want to bring this up then. If you look at the history of the NFL, just go to the history. Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are the smallest quarterbacks ever to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the norm instead of the exception. We've had over 50 Super Bowls. The reason 2 little guys have won it is because it's hard. And again, just like this texter said, defenses win championships, baby. Plenty of bad quarterback play with Super Bowl rings. Trent Dilfer. Oh, Joe Flacco. Don't get mad, Drew Barrett. Brad Johnson. I can talk all day long. But Russell Wilson, he's just a bad dude. Doesn't matter his size. He's a great quarterback, even though he's
all right. We got bottom two in the league.
All right, you ready?
The league. Obviously, 32.
Both
the worst
Miami.
Is Dolphins. Okay,
yeah, so it's basically all we're trying to get
last
to
week.
is,
guess what? Remember I said the Jets?
I said Bengals.
You know what the Jets did?
They won.
They beat the Cowboys.
So I guess I get to keep my picks, and I'm the winner, right?
I guess so. You can keep it. You can keep the Bengals.
By the way, in all honesty, though, how the Bengals how is it that they played so good in Week 1?
They played all right in Week 2.
They were all
right.
It's like this is a team that just likes to lose. They played the Seahawks in Week 1, homie. They lost 21-20, and now Andy Dalton, they got shellacked by the 49ers, but we know how good the 49ers are. The Bills are pretty good. They lost to the Bills. Dude, they had no reason to lose to the Steelers. They lost to the Cardinals, and then they get slapped by the Ravens. This week, they get to play the Jaguars. It is at home after the Jaguars just lost a close one. I'm telling you, this team will be 0-7, and the Dolphins are going to be 0-7. And you know what? They're going to be flipping at each other from across the country on who gets the number 1 pick in Tua.
How close do you think the Redskins and Bengals are to being as bad as each other? Because I think the Redskins might be worse than the Bengals. The Bengals have been without A.J. Green, so that's an issue. The Redskins only beat the Dolphins by 1. It's like the Dolphins didn't care to win the game, and I think that's the fact. They're literally tanking fully. But I don't know, man. I'm going to have to go Redskins here. I still think the Redskins are awful. They don't have a coach anymore. I think what they have going on at GM and president is embarrassing.
I agree. I think as of late, they're doing horrible. But remember, this is also a Redskins team that I just want you to listen to the schedule. They did have the Eagles beat on the road, and they lost 32-27 by 5. They also played the Cowboys in a tight one when they were still good, 31-21. They fought the Bears. They played the Giants. Then they played the Patriots.
We're also finding out that the Cowboys and the Eagles aren't that good.
Well, I'm just saying, somebody's out of that division is going to have to come out. In the Eagles and the Cowboys beginning, everybody said they were good. I mean, and at the beginning of the year, they were playing better. And that's the thing is, who's going to win that division? You got the Eagles 3-3, the Cowboys 3-3. I don't think Daniel Jones is literally going to lead the New York Football Giants, even if they do win this against Arizona and go to 3-4. I still think it's going to be either the Eagles or Cowboys. If Jerry Jones had the cojones, which I don't understand why he doesn't, the day he was hired, he fired the man with the hat. He fired Tom Landry. The day he bought the team, he's like, yo, Tom, take your hat and get out of my, you know what. Then, dude wins 2 Super Bowls. And I'm talking about the best coiffed hair in all of coaching. Who has the best coach hair ever in the history of the sport?
Jimmy Johnson.
Dude. I was going to say, if you didn't say Jimmy Johnson, I thought you might say my homie at Oklahoma State, and I was going to say...
Ew, man. No, we're not giving a mullet.
I was just getting ready to say we don't give mullets victories here, except for when we're hanging out in my old stomping ground, Nutbush and Millington. No, but Jimmy Johnson, after 2 Super Bowls, he fires him with the best hair for Barry Switzer. What? Barry still won a Super Bowl because the team was so damn good, but didn't win any jack after it. And then they've been absolutely mediocre. And can I just tell y'all one other little thing for Cowboys fans? The reason Zeke got paid this year and all those players, because Jerry mentally looked at this team and says, guess what? This is a team that could play for a Super Bowl. Well, when they started 3-0, everybody was thinking they could possibly play for a Super Bowl. But what happened after the first 3 weeks? Kellen Moore and that offense actually looked like a normal offense. They were running motion.
And you hear Tony Romo on telecast saying, I don't think this is Kellen Moore. I think
this
is
3
Jason
weeks.
Garrett.
I was getting ready to tell you, the last 3 weeks that they've lost, Jason Garrett has taken over the play calling. You can tell they've gone back to vanilla, boring Dallas Cowboys, line up on the same side, throw it to Jason Witten, absolutely just hand the ball to Zeke, run Dak in a dead gum little sprint out. I mean, there's no run pass options.
Cowboys,
there's
the truth
nothing.
of it, the Cowboys have wasted nearly a decade on this guy, and I think it's about time to make a switch.
Jerry, I don't know if somehow he's your illegitimate son or why you love him, but there's got to be something that we don't know. We'll figure it out one day, maybe. Heck, do that Ancestry.com thing and send the results to me, because there's got to be a reason you love this guy so much. But you have to pull the cord if you want the Cowboys to win. The ability for him to take an offense and score a touchdown is like the ability for me to fly to the moon without a rocket. Now, I've done it in my dreams, but I can tell you I can't fly. But whatever y'all do, don't touch that dial. We'll be back in 2 shakes. JL grinding, talking college football, all coming up next. Sports 56, 96.1, and of course, 87.7 FM.
Sundays and Mondays are special at the Butcher Shop, celebrating over 35 years of serving the Mid-South by giving a big thank you to you, their loyal customers. You can come in, relax, watch your favorite games, and enjoy hand-cut steaks along with a premium bar. Sunday and Monday nights from 5 until 8:30, you can get select entrees for $25. That includes a salad, baked potato, and bread, and you don't have to pick one, you get all 3. Some of those entrees are 10-ounce New York strip steak, slow-roasted prime rib, Atlantic salmon with dill sauce, marinated grilled chicken breast, grilled boneless pork chops, and crab-stuffed shrimp. Plus, all appetizers and desserts are 20% off. Don't forget, Hamburger Friday every Friday from 11 to 2. It's the best. The Butcher Shop, always a Memphis tradition. Call 901-757-4244, 901-757-4244 for more information, or just stop in at 107 South Germantown Parkway in Cordova.
Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
Welcome back to Amazon Prime One-Day Delivery Trivia. Now to the next question. If Adam can get a chainsaw in 1 day with Amazon Prime One-Day Delivery, and Sharon can get a leaf blower in 1 day with one-day delivery, what are the odds their neighbor will order noise-canceling headphones with Amazon Prime One-Day Delivery? Yes, Sarah.
Pretty good?
Correct. Introducing one-day delivery from Amazon Prime. Order from millions of items. Peace and quiet delivered.
The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main downtown has all your game day needs with 30 TVs. If your game is not on one of the 20 big screens, then sit in a booth with your own remote. The Vault has game day specials on pitchers, buckets of beer, and great food, which is the best thing about the Vault. This is not your normal sports bar. Chef Dirk Meitzler from On Tour and Cafe 621 has all his favorites like Chicken Newport and his new lobster enchilada. Open for lunch and dinner every day with lunch specials for $12 weekdays with a drink. The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main, your downtown place to eat, drink, and watch the game.
Fall is fast approaching, and you know what that means. Time to start thinking about covering your pool. The best way to protect your pool, your loved ones, and your pocketbook is with a safety pool cover. Mario's Pools on Exeter and Germantown has the best advertised price on all pool safety covers, solid and mesh. Keep your pool looking great year after year. A safety cover requires less maintenance, saves money on chemicals and water, prevents standing water, and extends the life of your liner. Call Mario's Pools at 552-3399. That's 552-3399. Or just walk in and see him in Germantown on Exeter Road. Plus, he specializes in pool closings. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Check out his reviews on Facebook. Protect your investment. Call Mario's Pools today. 552-3399.
This is Jason Mott. Join me November 9th downtown at the Column for our 8th annual Jason Mott Foundation Cornhole Challenge. Doors open at 6. For tickets and more information, click the events tab at jasonmottfoundation.org. Looking forward to seeing you out there, and let's strike out cancer.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
a man that eats meat so rare, he only eats unicorns, Johnny Harden.
What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Sorry, I was reading a few extra things. I have never seen a officiating crew take more beating, but you know what? It's very well deserved. I've been talking about how bad the NFL has been this year, from its play, from all the pay that they get paid, and how bad the play is, and how poorly officiated it is, and how we have these HD TVs and all these there's replay and everything, and they're still getting it wrong, and people are getting ticked off. Well, I will say, Clete Blackman's crew is getting a lot of criticism, and I'm going to tell you something. It might be much more deserved than people even realize. And I'm just going to go, and I'm not saying this is for sure, but as a conspiracy person, MGM Graham has reported that there was a $185,000 bet on the Packers play money line versus the Lions to win $100K in game during that, once they the official threw the flag and they got it. Have you ever heard it in play? And they said this person has now made 3 large amount bets on 3 games with Clete Blackman's crew. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but right now it is out there on Total Sports Pro, and MGM Graham has put it out. But also there's another one that I was just looking at, and I didn't even see this, but right now it's saying, man, they missed there was a play where the bag judge missed it, and I'm counting it, and this isn't photoshopped. There were 13 players. The Packers had 13 players on a defensive play.
And they didn't get called for too many men on the field?
Nuh-uh.
Seems legit.
Like, holy bleep. Now, this was in the second quarter, so it wasn't the end of the game, so people haven't really noticed, and I just saw this. So, again, like I said, man, Holy cow. That's pretty pathetic. But anyway, it is time for me to get into what is fun. And we love talking college sports around here. We really were loving it when the Tigers were undefeated and destroying things. And we thought they were going to be our New Year's Day 6 champions and American champions. Now I'm kind of upset with the American. I'm upset with American in basketball. Did you see them pick Houston?
I didn't get that.
Dude,
I don't understand. But
don't even get me
I guess
started.
they're trying to show respect to who won the conference last year, but let's be real.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
You just lost your 3. Man, I'm gonna slap somebody, man.
That's tied for first. Don't get too bent out of shape.
I know.
But I thought it was weird too.
It was
I'm
weird.
with you.
It is strange. But you know what? All the weird things that are going in the world, thank goodness I get to talk to John Luke McCord because he makes all the insane seem what's sane. John Luke, how is life treating you, my brother?
And it's raining a little bit here in Tupelo, but it's treating me about as well as it can at this point.
Man, oh, dude, Tupelo. I was down there last week. I don't want to be back for a while. I was just in that area, not really Tupelo. But anyway, I love that place, actually. I'm sorry, I just had a bad week. My little granddaughter had an accident. It was a nightmare. But you know how things are with kids, I'm sure. No, you don't. You're a young kid yourself. But you know more about football than anybody and their grandmother. And I got to ask you, realistically, Alabama is number 1. LSU is number 2. Tell me the truth. How good is LSU? Do you really think that this year Joe Burrow and that LSU team ran by Ed Orgeron, Joe Brady, everything that they're doing, do you think they have enough to beat a Nick Saban, Tua Tagovailoa passing team with Jerry Jeudy and a bunch of wide receivers that are going to play in the NFL that can score? Can they really do it?
You know, I really think so. I mean, look, good quarterback play, it certainly can be a huge difference maker. And we've seen that with Tua. And you know, that defense has certainly changed over for Alabama, sort of what we were used to in more, further back memory. But recent memory, this is a defense that, against some of the better quarterbacks, they've given up some points too, and they've needed that offensive firepower from Tua Tagovailoa and all those receivers and stuff. And so, again, I just think right now Joe Burrow has been the better quarterback this year. LSU's got a great crop of receivers themselves. They've got they use the tight end well. By everybody, by all accounts out of Baton Rouge, Ed Orgeron has really taken his hands off a lot of those reins on the offensive side of the football and sort of brainstorming what they're going to do defensively. So look, I think they're good enough defensively. I think they're getting healthier on that side to win with Alabama. I think certainly the offense and Joe Burrow can get it done. I mean, talk about a running game that doesn't get enough credit either. But look, Joe Burrow, I mean, has the man thrown more than 5 incompletions in a game this season? I mean, you look up and the amount of incompletions he's thrown, it's just mind-boggling. And that's against some really good defenses. Seeing him this past weekend, I really liked seeing him move off of his stance, move off of his spot in the pocket, and still deliver accurate throws downfield, even as those mechanics break down. So look, every test, every eye test, every measurement that you look at, Joe Burrow has been phenomenal. I think he's the Heisman. I told you guys a few weeks back, I think that LSU's better than Bama this year, and I think they're the top team in the country right now.
I love it. And I got to say, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I am absolutely unequivocally just enthralled with how well they're playing, and I got to say, go ahead.
What? We were texting the other night, John Luke, about that LSU Florida game, and maybe you weren't, but Kyle Trask absolutely amazed me. Were you amazed by what he was doing the other night? It was sort of back and forth battle for a while in that game.
Well, and that's one thing that I was sort of especially texting you about too, because I mean we're so quick to give Dan Mullen a lot of credit, and I probably will here in a moment, but. The thing is, Kyle Trask was really, really stepping up to the moment the other night, I thought. And he was so good in the red zone. And so that was one of the things that I liked about it, especially that one, about right when I texted you, he had just put that ball on the money to Van Jefferson in the end zone. And so I just thought he did a great job of throwing in the tight windows. We kind of thought as Dan Mullen sort of bridging, till he can get his star quarterback, Kyle Trask is good enough. The other night we saw Kyle Trask, I think, was good enough to really make a scare in the SEC East. And that's one thing you guys have asked me a lot about this year, and I think my answer is starting to adjust. I mean, certainly don't want to be prisoner of the moment after Georgia's loss on Saturday, but this Florida team is for real, and Kyle Trask is a big reason why. They would not be where they're at, without Kyle Trask sort of stepping in and remaking that job. It's helped the running game. It's helped on third downs. I think that's one reason Dan Mullen really made this move is you got to be better on third downs. And you just, I know Felipe Franks certainly has had his struggles, but on third downs, you just didn't know whether or not to count on him, whether or not he could get that 3rd and 7, put that ball in a tight window. And so Kyle Trask has done that and more for Dan Mullen in this offense. And again, look, they played LSU a lot better than I expected them to the other night. And so that's a really a storyline to follow as the season goes on.
Well, I wasn't going to jump off this yet, but I'm ready to go ahead and do it now. We'll just go ahead and go over to the Florida, South Carolina. Will Muschamp, I don't know how he did it. There's no way they should have won. Kirby Smart got Will Muschamp is what I called it. When you literally have a game handed to you and you still lose, I'm sorry. I don't care if Georgia wins out and somehow wins the SEC championship game after getting Will Muschamp by their 5th team quarterback. I'm still upset with that. Like, that was just the worst job that Kirby Smart could ever do.
Did y'all get the old Rodrigo Blankenship press release, Heisman campaign press release last week? I think a lot of media in Georgia had gotten that. And so that's tough for him. Will Muschamp, it's good for him. I mean, he put on a heck of a post-game interview, too, if y'all stuck around for that. So, I mean, look, maybe it's the magic of the glasses. I don't know. I mean, look, he's seeing the play sheet clearly. And, I mean, the fact that they went Wildcat for the back end of that game the way they did and were still able to manage a win out of that one, just very impressive. You knew Will Muschamp was sort of building talent on the defensive side of the ball. Heck, he left a ton of it in Gainesville for Jim McElwain. And so you knew he was building up talent on that side of the ball. They've been good there. He loses his quarterback, though, and really I think more than anything on Saturday, that was a moment where you could say Will Muschamp is starting to help this team learn how to win. And this program certainly, I think, did that. I don't think they're going to turn around and follow it up with a win against Florida. That one's going to be tough to get. I mean, especially a Florida team that's confident themselves. But I think Will Muschamp, if anything, is teaching that young program how to win games.
You use the word impressive to describe that. When I watched that game, I thought it was a Kirby Smart looked like garbage. I don't think Jake Fromm was any good. Do you think it was more of just some futility coming out of that Georgia, just for one game? I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not overreacting, but did you find it impressive on South Carolina's end or just bad on Georgia's end?
I think certainly it's got to be more bad on Georgia's part, right? I mean, for a team like South Carolina, especially, again, without their quarterback back into that game, to go in or to beat Georgia, even on your home field, you got to have the Bulldogs play not that well, and certainly they didn't play well.
It sort of seemed.
It
seemed as if South Carolina was doing everything to lose the game as well. One of the worst played SEC games I've seen to this point in the year.
Well, and I think too, and for Kirby, you got to start to ask. I mean, listen, certainly you're near the top of the standings. You have one of the most talented, if not the most talented programs in the country. You built that through recruiting. But Kirby at some point's got to realize, hey, I'm not at Alabama anymore. We're not the defending champs 5 times over, 4 times in the last 6 years. We're not that program. And so even though we're near the top, it's okay to be aggressive like we're not. And so I think that's one thing that Kirby might have to look into is just being a little more aggressive in the way that they attack teams. And certainly if you're not, then it can permeate throughout the locker room. It can permeate throughout your team's, mindset in the game, and it can allow you to play down to your competition. And that's the one thing I think Georgia has to be aware of going forward. Are you going to be that team that's aggressive and comes out and puts, the foot to the throat? Are you going to be a team that's apprehensive and sort of leaves yourself up sometimes to play down to your competition? And look, that's the bottom line. Yes, South Carolina made a lot of plays like they did when they win the game. It kicked it around too. But the longer you let a team that's not as good as you stay in the game, the more confidence they get, they can remain there. And that, to me, is just the reason how you get that result. And I think Kirby, that's something that he's got to look at philosophically and in the game week, in the week of preparation, to sort of be more aggressive in the way they attack teams. I mean, you've got a talented quarterback, a talented group of running backs. You're going to out-talent a lot of teams in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And you've got some receivers that can make some plays downfield this year, too. So I think, look, you got to be more aggressive, and you got to go after teams. Even if it opens you up to some risk, you got to be more aggressive than that.
I do absolutely agree. I have one quick question. Who hurt themselves more, honestly, their reputation? Did Joe Moorhead hurt himself more, or did Kirby Smart hurt himself more? And I'm just talking about reputation. I think Moorhead might be done after this weekend.
Moorhead's done, man. Moorhead's done, I believe. Or at least, and look, that's what's on the tip of fans' tongues here in Mississippi. Mississippi State fans are not near as divided as they were some
if
years
LSU
back.
beats them by 28 points, are they done?
And then you followed up with A&M the week after. I think that's where you really see the fall off here. And let me just throw this out there. And I don't cover the Mississippi State program intimately, not right there in the locker room, obviously. But what I would speculate for you, just based on rumor and some things going around, I'm not sure Joe Moorhead has the full attention of his locker room. And I think that's why we see a result like this. Certainly you could point to decisions at the quarterback spot as a potential reasoning there. I just don't know if the veterans in that locker room are attentive and listening right now. And I think that could be one of Joe Moore's biggest problems. And it's one thing for the fans to want you going. But if John Cohen, that athletics, the head, the top guys in that athletics department want you going for something like that, then it's going to be tough to overcome. And I just wonder, the fans have sort of easily, fell into this. He's not a fit in the Southeastern Conference. And so I think that they're ready to break this off with Joe Moorhead. It's going to be a clean breakup, no hard feelings on Mississippi State fan side. I think they just want to move on to maybe a proven head coach and feel like they might have messed that one up.
Do you really think Coach Muschamp is going to play Ryan Helinski this weekend?
Look, man, he wore the glasses. He brought a new look last week. So, I wouldn't put anything past Will Muschamp right now. But, look, there's been a lot. Here's one thing with the quarterbacks and the way the transfer portal works, and even with injuries this year. You've seen Matt Luke at Ole Miss do it. You've seen other schools. Mississippi State's done this with Tommy Stevens. But being deceptive throughout the week leading up to the game about your quarterback's health or about, insert star players' health, but especially the quarterbacks this year. And so I wonder if that's not just some of the gamesmanship from Will Muschamp trying to make sure his team has the best opportunity to walk in prepared to win.
I think you're 100% right. I don't care what anybody says. I think you're going to see a lot of Dakarion Joyner, and I think he's going to lead it because if they do go,
I really hope they don't put.
If they put him out there, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, he looked very hurt and very limpy when he got on that field.
Dude, you can't send a kid out there 50%, man. Not in the SEC. And then
not as young as him either. It's a young guy with his whole career ahead of him.
And now we have to ask the two most important questions from you. Did Kirby Smart make the right decision on keeping Jake Fromm over Justin Fields?
I think for his program, yeah. And we sort of had this conversation a little bit as Justin Fields has had success early in the season. I think he did. I think for his program, Jake Fromm was the guy. He's a Georgia kid. I know Justin Fields is too, but he had already established himself, won that job. He built a brand sort of with the fan base and things like that. And I think, look, certainly with Justin Fields add an element to that Georgia offense, yeah, but I'm not sure it's an element that totally fits into the puzzle that is that Georgia offense. The Ohio State offensive line, the running game, even the passing game to an extent is built for a quarterback with the skill set of Justin Fields. I know a lot of programs could use a player with the skill set of Justin Fields, but I'm not so sure that Fromm, at least coming into this season, certainly some play this year, has it's not been encouraging for him, and he's a guy that his draft stock is going to play big after the season. But I think he's the better fit there, and I think that's why you saw Kirby stick with him. You certainly don't want to lose a talented quarterback like Fields, but we're just going to see more and more of that, I think, going forward when you have two top-shelf guys in a program, especially when they're so different.
And the one other thing is I was going to say with this is, I think both guys are actually very good quarterbacks. I do think you are correct in everything you said. I think Jake does fit Georgia and what they want to do. But it is kind of fascinating that, from year one to year two, this was supposed to be his year. And he's only, got 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And you look over at what Fields is doing, and he's going banana sandwich over at Ohio State. They're smoking people like it's going out of style.
And play calling is something else that goes into that too. I know, and I've seen it on Twitter over the weekend.
Ryan Day, baby.
That yeah, absolutely. And Jim Chaney too. Jim Chaney no longer calling those plays for Georgia. That it certainly looked a little different to me this year, and without that element there. But again, Justin Fields having a phenomenal year, but I do think that Fromm is a solid fit. One thing I would say, and the reason I bring this up is because Kirby Smart was at Alabama when Nick Saban decided to make this changeover. Is it a changeover that Kirby sees and makes going forward? Because I think that if you want to switch to a quarterback more of the style of Justin Fields, that's something you prepare for in recruiting. And does he sort of rework this offense to add a mobile or a dual threat quarterback like a Fields going forward?
Golly, man, this is going to be interesting. I could talk to you literally I could talk to you all day, John Luke, but I got to pay a few bills, and I know you got a real job that pays you that you got to get back to. But before I let go of my man on Twitter, it's at JL Grindin. I did want to know, though, SEC, LSU, Oklahoma, we got a bunch of real teams. Big Ten, though, ACC, I know they have Clemson. I know, listen, Big 12, you got Oklahoma. But I look right now, and I look at the Big Ten and say that's the second best conference with Ohio State and Wisconsin. And I just want to know, do you like Ohio State's offense or do you like Wisconsin's defense more? And which team do you think's more complete?
Whew. I mean, I would have to say, give me the team with the better quarterback. So, I mean, I like that Wisconsin defense. Absolutely, absolutely. And so I think when this comes down to the end, these are both good teams. A quarterback can be the difference maker. And sort of good pitcher beats good offense. I think a good quarterback can beat good defense in the big moments. And so I love Wisconsin. I love Jonathan Taylor in that running game. I hope he gets the credit he's due in the Heisman race. And I do think those are clearly the two teams it's going to come down to up there. And frankly, those two are so good. I think that's why we both feel this way about the Big Ten. It's not as deep as it is solid up there. The top Penn State's another team that's really, really good in that league. Great defense too. But look, I'm going to take Ohio State to win that league at this point. I think they'll comfortably be in the college football playoff, and I think frankly, a real threat to win it.
I absolutely have to say, I think this is going to be a really fun one, and I agree with you. We're going to be watching it all the way down the road. Before I say goodbye to you, though, did you see Jordan's playing for the XFL?
Yes, I did. That is awesome, man. Hey, a couple of Ole Miss players, a couple of good stories from Ole Miss. Floyd Allen
give it to me.
And Jeremy Liggins in that league.
Oh, I did not know that. Jeremy's there, too?
Absolutely. Jeremy, a Lafayette County boy from Oxford, and he's dealt with a lot of health issues through his life, and so really cool to see him getting to play some pro football.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's played a lot of different positions.
Yeah,
I mean, he's tight end, to D-line, to O-line, to
everything.
And, the weirdest thing about him, he was a preps quarterback star here in high school in Mississippi, and then got to junior college, played some tight end and D-line. And that's what he came into Ole Miss sort of in those two positions. They were going to try him out there. But Hugh Freeze put this pressure on him when he got there. He thought he was an NFL tackle eventually in time. And so that's where he thought his body would eventually settle in shape. And that is kind of where he's taking shape too. So really cool story for Jeremy, and I always wish the best for him, a local guy. And same for Floyd Allen, a guy who at times lived out of his car during his college career before he made it to Ole Miss. And then, of course, Jordan Ta'amu, a guy I think has a chance to stick around that league for a little while.
I also like the fact he's playing for St. Louis
Battlehawks. Yeah,
the Battlehawks. So St. Louis has got a football team again. Stan Kroenke, how you like me now? And they got Jordan. So this is going to be awesome. Hey, everybody, go give JL Grindin a follow. John Luke, I'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Appreciate it, John Luke.
And I just appreciate it as always, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great week.
You too. That's John Luke McCord. I'm telling you right now, this dude knows football like it's going out of style.
I call him the SEC plug, man.
If
I need to know something about the SEC, he's going to let me know.
And he's not like me. He gets back to you a lot faster on
he's
the
not
text
like
phone.
me. You're not good with your phone? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, dude, in all honesty, this is the other thing that I have to explain to people. My phone is always on silent, number one, because I'm around live mics. And this is just a little sidebar. But, I even showed you, I get texts at 5 o'clock in the morning. Today, since we've been on air, I've had 117 texts. Since I've been on air.
Are you a part of group chats? Because group chats are the main
if
culprit.
It was a group chat, I would have lost my mind. But the one thing I was going to tell you is Houston or the Natties. Somebody sending me love, asking questions. My man James Thomas over at Houston, he's going to come over and talk Thursday at 2 o'clock. He just verified it. What's up, dude? That was a good text I just checked. So, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's going to be fun. And by the way, you know why we're going to talk to him, people, don't you? He has a running back who is probably one of the best running backs in the state of Tennessee, period. Not just in the city of Memphis. He's one of the best running backs in the state of Tennessee, runs a legit 4.4 40. Dude's been balling, shot calling. He's not getting any looks. He hasn't even gotten an offer from our own University of Memphis. Yo, Mike, go offer this kid a deadgum scholarship. We're going to talk about him, but Coach Shabazz, Coach Thomas. We're going to talk about everything about it, but I'm telling you, John Barlis has been talking about it, but his name is Lincoln Parr. He hasn't been offered by a Power 5 school, and they've also been talking about reverse racism in this stuff because he's a 4.4 guy who's got 32 touchdowns as a junior. He's ran for 354 yards and 5 touchdowns against Collierville last Thursday. Dude's just basically a baller, but Coach Shabazz has put a bunch of stuff out. We're going to have Coach Thomas come on. I'm so fired up. I can't wait to talk about this young man. I'll have to shoot out to Varlis and go watch a little practice. But we're going to have a lot of fun talking a little bit of Houston football and a little bit of local action. Mike Norvell, man, this kid looks like he can play. By the way, whatever you do, Hardwood's coming up next. So if I were you, I wouldn't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and ConnectKey app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, excellence in office solutions.
Sundays and Mondays are special at the Butcher Shop, celebrating over 35 years of serving the Mid-South by giving a big thank you to you, their loyal customers. You can come in, relax, watch your favorite games, and enjoy hand-cut steaks along with a premium bar. Sunday and Monday nights from 5 until 8:30, you can get select entrees for $25. That includes a salad, baked potato, and bread, and you don't have to pick one, you get all 3. Some of those entrees are 10-ounce New York strip steak, slow-roasted prime rib, Atlantic salmon with dill sauce, marinated grilled chicken breast, grilled boneless pork chops, and crab-stuffed shrimp. Plus, all appetizers and desserts are 20% off. Don't forget, Hamburger Friday every Friday from 11 to 2. It's the best. The Butcher Shop, always a Memphis tradition. Call 901-757-4244, 901-757-4244 for more information, or just stop in at 107 South Germantown Parkway in Cordova.
Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need. At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main downtown has all your game day needs with 30 TVs. If your game is not on one of the 20 big screens, then sit in a booth with your own remote. The Vault has game day specials on pitchers, buckets of beer, and great food, which is the best thing about the Vault. This is not your normal sports bar. Chef Dirk Meitzler from On Tour and Cafe 621 has all his favorites like Chicken Newport and his new lobster enchilada. Open for lunch and dinner every day with lunch specials for $12 weekdays with a drink. The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main, your downtown place to eat, drink, and watch the game.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to
Wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee, Jed. And let me tell you a little something. Thank you so much, Lincoln Perry. I got so many classy people out there that listen to this show. So many wonderful people. Again, I can't wait to talk to Coach Thomas, Coach Shabazz. We're going to talk about Houston football, Lincoln Perry. By the way, my daughter who cheerleads out there, who probably doesn't even like me. We don't even want to mention her. Shout out Savannah. What's up? By the way, why didn't you tell me his last name was Perry? I called him Lincoln Party you, and you just looked at me.
Me?
No, my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Like, she knows him.
Like, don't
You know,
this ain't on me.
You know,
hey,
daughter,
you mispronounced it. Names are not your strong suit, okay?
It's spelled
people know that.
P-A-R-E.
Yeah, Perry.
I didn't know it was Perry.
Yeah, I would have said pear. Pear.
I asked her.
But Perry.
She just actually, to tell you the truth, she didn't even
Stud.
look up from her phone.
Stud. He's a stud.
He's a
End of the day.
stud. And I can't wait to talk about this young man next week. The dude is run, and he's running, and we're going to talk about him. And I can't wait to talk about some local high school action. Maybe see if we can get him over to the University of Memphis. This dude looks like he can play some football. By the way, Coach Shabazz really did compare him like Christian McCaffrey, so I'm digging that stuff, baby. Let's rock. Now, as all the stuff that's been going on in the world, it's been a little bit crazy. So we get to talk about my craziest, most favorite segment of the day, and that is Hardenwood. But without my favorite people in this world, I don't get to do this. And y'all know 901-406-1101. That's my very good buddy Bill at I Buy Them Houses, baby. I Buy Them Houses, 90416 901 406-1101. Can you say it with me? 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. And remember, he's a Memphis man. He's Memphis born. He's Memphis bred. But, hey, North Mississippi he loves. Anything in North Mississippi. Anything in North Memphis, South Memphis, downtown, East Memphis, Germantown, Collierville, Cordova, anything in this area. If you can hear my voice, heck, I don't care if you're in Tunica on a 96.1 FM beautiful signal. Give him a call, 901-406-1101. I did it over 11 years ago. If you need to sell your house quickly, if you need cash in a flash, if you don't have time because you got a bunch of kids to do a bunch of painting and fix everything up, it's simple. 901-406-1101. He'll buy any house, any area, as is. Simple as that. 901-406-1101. You call my buddy, Bill, at I Buy Houses, and you can thank me later. Just shoot it to the 67129 text line, baby. First Bank text line, and we'll be happy. But right now, you know what time it is, don't you? It's time to go to Hardenwood.
This is Access Hardenwood.
Wow. There is so many good people out there that obviously think this kid is a legit running back. Do y'all know how many people have done, like, my text line? This is like I talked about cannabis or something. Speaking of that, I'm talking with Louis Goldberg about CBD, CBG, and all those wonderful things. And I wanted to tell you something that's very important because I have a new sponsor, Your CBD Store. They're in South Haven, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, and Cordova. And let me tell you a little secret. They are different because when you walk in there, I can promise you, this ain't walking into a head shop. This ain't like, you ain't gonna see glass pipes. You ain't gonna see, this is like walking into a very, very, very nice, beautiful, wonderful place. And they have a very intelligent person there who can tell you everything about CBD. And the best thing is they have all their licensings, like everything and how pure they are. There's no vitamin E acetate in here that's been killing people. There's no bad stuff in here at all. This is only the perfect stuff in the world. And I'm telling you, that they know everything about everything. I didn't know half of the stuff. I didn't know how many cannabinoids were in a marijuana plant, and they have CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC. All this stuff affects your endocrine system differently. So if you're having a problem with sleeping, anxiety, pain, there's all kinds of different things for you. Just go there and try it. You will be shocked. And she did take care of me. And I'm telling you right now, After my stressful week, I probably would have been in a hospital, had a complete nervous breakdown, and lost my mind. But she gave me this coffee and this little tincture that I drop in this water stuff. Drink it, and it calms me down. It's like eating a big old fat Xanax, but it's legal. You know what I'm saying? Just saying that's what people know. But it's legal and it's safe and it's not going to be causing
like
addiction.
I said, I have family members who swear by it and have done so well with it.
What did people like in the day? They called them
747s.
747s. What were those things? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No idea. If you say back in the day, chances are, I know, yeah.
Did you ever hear those?
Yeah,
they had a number for them. 67129. What was the number y'all used to call them? I like to always know things. But hit me up. What do you got?
I think this is very interesting, thinking about the CBA coming up with the NFL. Did you know, with all these rules that they have put in the NFL to try to make it a safer game, concussions were up in the preseason by 44%. Yes.
For real?
According to data the NFL released today, there were 49 concussions in the 2019 preseason, and they compared it to 34 in 2018. And before that, they were in the 20s. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing with the game. But at the same time, considering what they're going to have to go through and reaching a new CBA, this is going to be a big, big arguing point for the players.
Maybe.
But they're trying to shorten preseason, right? And
No.
They're trying to end it and then make a longer season.
This is usually like the story of the day until I just saw this, Gabe. And it's kind of leading over to he's woke as a joke from earlier this morning, or capitalist over compassion, blah, 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 blah. But, bro, did you see Muhammad Ali's ex-wife come out today and slap LeBron down, said you ain't no Muhammad Ali? And OMG, oh my goodness. She went off on him, man. Yeah. And again, it's kind of hard, by the way, just to remind you, LeBron, if you say Daryl Morey ever is unintelligent, not intelligent, or putting out.
He said he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke. But here's the thing. I think he is educated on the situation.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Don't say.
I don't think that LeBron was. He was very wrong to say anything about it. He should have kept his mouth shut about it, because now it makes him look very it's vilifying. You can't come back from what he just said. Like it's making it clear that he's choosing the money over freedom of other countries. That's what it looks like, at least on surface level. Now, I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe he was trying to diffuse. But there was a really bad job of doing so. Because I don't understand what the thought process of saying something like that would be.
Yeah, it's really bad. And the worst part about it is, honestly, when you look at, because I'm just going to have to read the quote of what he said, because if I don't, then you aren't going to understand this. But LeBron James was asked about the China controversy, and then he said, I don't want to get into a feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he misspoke. We all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all have. We all do have freedom of speech, but at times there are ramifications for the negativity that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. Hold on, Pot. Quit calling the kettle black, dude. Are you effing kidding me? He just said, literally, he just told Daryl Morey, listen to this. We all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all do have it. No, the China people don't. And the people in Hong Kong are trying to keep it. And we all do have this freedom of speech. But at times, there are ramifications for the negativity that can happen when you're not thinking about others. Because I thought he was thinking about others. I thought Daryl Morey was thinking about the Hong Kong people and all the people who were murdered and all the concentration camps and all the stuff that are going over there.
Which is why this comment made no sense.
Yeah, and then he comes out and he says, and this is the worst part, he says, ramifications for the negativity that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. Because to me, this feels like you're only thinking about yourself, because they're saying that the person who is to lose the most money besides the NBA is LeBron, is standing to lose like $100 million on his shoe deal in China. Now, that's probably a lot of coin in his pocket, so it probably bothers him. But again, when a dude who's sitting close to $1 billion is going to complain about a little bit of cash, I ain't going to feel too sorry for him.
And not to mention, the Hong Kong protesters are absolutely irate
Burning.
with LeBron James. They're burning jerseys. They're speaking out ridiculous amounts against LeBron James. It's not good. It's not good what he did.
I don't want to get, and then I'm going to continue, and it says, I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he misspoke. And so many people could have been harmed. Not only financially, the first thing he mentions is financially. Not only financially, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Like the Chinese government does it every day. So, just be careful what we tweet and what we say and what we do. Even though, yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too. Okay, now, just to go back, because I'm not done breaking down his whole thing. Again, to say that Daryl Morey wasn't educated on the situation at hand and misspoke would be like saying that Einstein doesn't understand the theory of relativity. The dude went to Northwestern, got his MBA, his master's from MIT, homie. Like, do you know what Mensa is? Y'all ever heard of that? Like, he's in the top 3% of the entire smartest people in the world. So stop, like, no, he didn't misspeak. I'm pretty much telling you, I don't think this Daryl Morey misspoke. And then he said, after that, he said, there's negativity that comes with that too. Fight for freedom is just uneducated. That's just my belief. I don't know. That's my belief. That's all I can say. I believe he was either misinformed or not really educated on the situation. And if he was, then so be it. But I have no idea. That's just my belief that when you say things or do things and you know the people can be affected by it and the families and the individuals and everyone can be affected by it, sometimes things can be changed. And also sometimes social media is not always the proper way to go about things as well. But that's just my belief. Let me clear up the confusion. I do not believe there was any consideration for the consequences and ramifications of Daryl Morey's tweet. He also comes out to say that if a player would have done that, he believes they would have been fined or kicked out of the league and that he thinks Daryl Morey is getting some special treatment. Again, I think that is also BS too. He then came on to say, my team in this league just went through a difficult week. Oh, I
will say this, though.
You stayed in a $6,000 a night hotel.
I will say this. The storm that followed the Daryl Morey tweet is absolutely, positively crazy. I don't know if he knew
the Chinese government.
I don't know if he knew the ramifications of what would happen in this country and what would set motion in the NBA and the outrage that it would set in motion. I don't know if he thought about those things when he did say that.
Well,
he's well within. He's well within.
Well, he's like, we got our. I think he did it because he said the king of the world is King James. He called himself the king. He's in China. He's supposed to speak for people. We're the woke NBA. Let's go out there and fight for 7.8 million people that live in Hong Kong and are used to freedom and they don't want to be oppressed. Let's let's not remember the whole Cold War that we had, and now what are we cool with? Capitalism. Are we cool with communism? Is capitalism and making money now more important than compassion? Again, I'm just telling you, for all this stuff is very simple. And I was even listening to Peter and arguing with Austin, and man, that got absolutely redundant and ridiculous. It is not about conservatives. It is not about liberals. It is not about Republicans. It is about freedom. And it is about what freedom costs. Read Edith Cantor's, if he still has it up there, because I know he took a lot of the stuff down. But read what he's all lost. I can tell you about my own personal family and what it's like for them, and Honey, and how she's fought to get to this country, and what it's like and how much freedom means to her. So yeah, these things actually hurt a lot of people that live here and a lot of people around the world, and especially those in Hong Kong. And again, LeBron, there are consequences with what you say. There are. But you know what? You live in America, and you're allowed to say anything you want, and I respect that. Keep on talking, but if I disagree, I'm going to let you know. Now, back to more fun stuff, because I always like to talk a lot of fun stuff. This is kind of funny. So we thought that the NBA played some empty basketball stadiums. Please tell me you saw the North Korea, South Korea friendly. There wasn't a person in the stands.
Not a single person.
Not a single person in the stands. What in goodness gracious. This was, by the way, just so you know, this was for a World Cup qualifier. And North Korea faced off with South Korea in a historic soccer World Cup qualifier, but nobody saw it. Because guess what? North Korea did not allow a single fan in the stadium or the TV broadcast. Do you want to know why? Because they wanted to know the end of the game before they decided if they were going to broadcast it or not. If they lost, it wasn't going to be aired. If they won, it's going to be aired. They tied 0-0. It's surreal, and it's being reported that they're thinking about playing the first match ever between the two nations because they didn't lose. But they're not sure because they're supposed to be superior. So it's a very difficult decision with the North Koreans if they're going to play the broadcast of the ball game. No, this is just what I'm
It was a
trying to
draw.
say.
It was a draw, though.
Yeah, it was 1-1. 1-1. Oh, buddy. Now, please give me something funny. Did you see that crazy fighter, the dude that beat up Conor McGregor? That's literally the best UFC fighter. Those little guys, I'll kind of make fun of.
Khabib.
Yeah.
He was swimming upstream in
a
river.
A frozen river almost. Do you know how cold that river was?
Well, John, you know this guy was wrestling bears at the age of 6, right? He was wrestling baby. No,
that's
I
real.
will show you a video of him wrestling a baby bear.
Oh my gosh!
When he was 6 years old.
Kind of you know how we always talk Daniel Boone or Davy Crockett and try to build him up. I didn't know that was something legit. But all I know is, have you ever watched? Because you're young, did you ever watch Rocky where he fought Drago?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see him when he goes out there and he trains? He's got a log and he's in the snow and he's doing all that stuff.
It's real, man.
That's what Khabib's doing. Dude, he's up in the woods, doing some stuff. He was hanging from a tree. Next thing you know, he's swimming in a frozen river. I'm dude, no wonder this guy's 28-0 when he fights people and beats the tar out of Josie and all these crazy, crazy, crazy peoples. Oh man, it is just wild. But I will say, I hope that the people that are jokes will actually get woke, because I don't like those that are woke as a joke. And again, remember, it's compassion over capitalism. Promise you that. Take you farther. Karma's a good thing. Now, I'm going to come back with some picks, because guess what? We got Houston. We got the Yankees, Game 3. Luis Severino. You got the man himself. That's right, Garrett Cole. The best pitching matchup possibly against the best hitting lineups. I'm telling you, at 3:08, I love Brett and Dave, and I'm going to be listening to them in the background, but I'm going to be watching the game. Whatever you do, though, don't touch that dial. This is Sports 56, 96.1, and, of course, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles, when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
Our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell here at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and I want you to think about something for just a second. When was the last time you totally surprised your wife or your girlfriend with something nice for no reason at all? Not a birthday, not an anniversary, for no reason other than to show her how much you care about her. For almost 35 years, I've been helping Memphis men show their ladies the deep appreciation that they have for them and how grateful they are to have those girls in their lives. Birthdays and other occasions, well, gifts are expected, but a lot of times the unexpected presents, given for no reason other than love, have the most impact and say the most to her. Those gifts say you care all the time, every day. At Russell Brothers Jewelers, we've been helping men say I love you for a long time. The size or the price of the gift most times is of little importance. It's the thought you put into it that will make her smile. Come see me, Bill Russell, at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. Let me help you find just the right thing, large or small, that will let her know how you feel.
The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main downtown has all your game day needs with 30 TVs. If your game is not on one of the 20 big screens, then sit in a booth with your own remote. The Vault has game day specials on pitchers, buckets of beer, and great food, which is the best thing about the Vault. This is not your normal sports bar. Chef Dirk Meitzler from On Tour and Cafe 621 has all his favorites like Chicken Newport and his new lobster enchilada. Open for lunch and dinner every day with lunch specials for $12 weekdays with a drink. The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main, your downtown place to eat, drink, and watch the game.
Shoot for free at the newest and largest gun range in the Mid-South. Join Sports 56 Middays this Friday on the road at Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road, formerly Range USA in Bartlett. Pick up a free range pass and win a pair of Memphis vs. Tulane tickets. Top Gun, the largest indoor range in the Mid-South with over 22,000 square feet of fun and great barbecue at Ferguson's Barbecue. Carry permit classes from $75. Unlimited memberships as low as $29 a month. Top Gun, the only range in town where you can rent fully automatic weapons and shoot them on site. That's this Friday at Top Gun in Bartlett. Come shoot with us.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee again.
What is up? Welcome back to Little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. You know who I am, your sports mixologist, John. And guess who's coming up next? We got Wolo and Stats. But you know that me and Gabe are always brought to you by your CBD store. So if you got any pains, aches, anxieties, I'm telling you, check out your CBD store. You can find them anywhere. Cordova, Memphis, South Haven. They are everywhere and they are right around you. And when I say they're close, they are literally, like if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, South Haven, Cordova, you cannot miss them. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. The new one in Memphis, Tennessee is about as easy to find because it is on Poplar and you really can't miss it. The one that's over in, Cordova, that one might be a little bit more difficult for you. But the 3157 Poplar Avenue, it's really opened up. It's big. It's beautiful. They've got all the people in there. And the most important thing is they have the no vitamin E acetate. Everything is lab certified, and they have all their labs and everything verified right when you walk in the door. I'm telling you, your CBD store is just different. Head on down to 1076 Goodman Road in South Haven, or head on over to 3157 Poplar. I'm telling you, if you're in Memphis and you can't find that bad boy in Poplar, then you're just crazy. And if you live out in Cordova, 680 North Germantown Parkway. That's 680 North Germantown Parkway in Cordova. 3157 Poplar in Memphis, and of course 1076 Goodman down in South Haven. Your CBD store. It is going to be a different you. It is a different way to heal. And I'm telling you, pharmaceutical companies will not be liking these stores in the future. Now, one thing I will be telling you that I do like is I like winning money. I also like it when y'all win some money. I'm sorry yesterday if y'all listened to me and played the deadgum Cardinals. They looked really bad, let's just be real. But I did give you the Lions, so you're welcome on that. So I went 1-1, okay? So let's not go 1-1. Let's go 2-0 today. I'm going to give you 2 baseball games, and I'm going to give them to you absolutely free. Now, the one that is very, very easy is obviously Washington at home against St. Louis. There's no gentleman nothing here. Washington don't want to go back to St. Louis. Washington has this thing called champagne and beer and a lot of women and parties they want to get to tonight. I bet Washington has got more parties planned because they know they got plenty of days to get the World Series, man. This is Game 3 in New York tonight. They're about to close out the Cardinals. And you know what they're going to do? Party like rock stars.
So no gentleman sweep.
Play ball like all stars and you know, like Tommy Lee and Pam in that video. We remember that. But I'm telling you, Nationals -64 is easy. But I'm telling you also, as much as I love Sevy and I love that New York Yankees lineup, there's something about Garrett Cole I believe in. And in Game 3, Houston -45 right now, I'm taking. I think Houston is also going to win the series over the Yankees. We'll just have to see. I think it's going to be awesome. But whatever y'all do, don't touch that dial. Stats and Brett are coming up next. For all of y'all, do me a favor. Get out there in this world. Make it a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
For the best lineup of quality, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive vehicles, get to Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan. Over 1,000 new certified and pre-owned vehicles in one great location. Catch the savings now during our huge model year-end sales event. Score an amazing deal at Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan and